First meeting in order for the Cheyenne County Commissioners. Can we do a pledge of allegiance?
Yeah, we can.
We'll do this. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Sorry, Steve. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Come on up, Scott and Amanda, or you can just talk there.
Well, what Sunoco has offered 5 balers. Bird City has 3, St. Francis has 2 for $1,000 a piece, and they're wanting to get that done this week.
I thought it was 99 cents a piece.
Dan talked to
Is that
him,
what
it
you
was
thought?
1,500, then it was 1,000, then he brought up
A buck and.
a buck. So that's another thing. Do you want me to see if I can try to get him lower, or?
I think if we're gonna buy all 5 of them, or 4 is it?
5.
5? I don't see nothing wrong with offering them 800, and if they don't take it, give them 1,000. I think we need it personally.
Are you talking each, or,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's each.
800 apiece.
but they wanted 1,000 apiece?
They wanted
That's what
50.
But they're new, they're obviously a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're still.
Yeah, they're pretty.
But what's Sunoco gonna take them back and sell them then, if they don't?
They're just wanting them out off their liability.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because,
that we own them instead of them owning them.
yeah, I don't know what they do with them, because if they're out, and then it costs them money to come and get them, you know, because they could probably only carry 1 or 2 at a time. So they'd be making
You
3
know more than I
trips.
do about this. so-
Yeah, and I don't know where, if they don't have any drivers to come and get them either,
Yeah.
you know, so, I think if we told them, hey, we'll give you 800, and we'll take all 5 of them, and then we keep them for ourselves for,
You're talking 800 for all 5, not 4,000 for 5?
no, 800 apiece.
Okay,
Yeah, that, I don't think they'd ever go for that one.
just wanted to clarify.
But I say we offer them 800 apiece for the 5.
Is that something we're gonna split with the city if we do that, Scott?
Well, we have money from closing out Colby, plus
Yeah.
we've got money coming in that came in from Sunoco, all in that one account. So.
Yeah, and also we're still not done with them. We still got more money coming at some point from the recycling organization that we haven't got
Got you?
completely done yet.
Okay,
So,
so we're good on the funds.
Yeah, there's plenty
yeah,
of funds.
I for one, I think the county ought to buy them, and, you know, not have the city and the, you know, involved in them. Just, you know, we buy all 5 of them, and they belong to the county. That way, if, say, one of St. Francis's break, we still got an extra spare one over there we can bring over here, or back and forth, where it'd be county owned instead of city.
How hard is it to get parts for these machines?
Really couldn't tell you that. I don't know for sure, because we haven't really had any break. But I know that Frank over there, he fixes them when they go bad. He's fixed, you know, like electrical. Like they have like a, I don't know what it's called, because I don't know anything about the electrical. But he's fixed it
It's just
several times.
electrical and hydraulics, I think, is basically all there is.
So it has a
to
hydraulic pump and everything, so
So I
that
think it's something that could be
fixed easier?
locally
Or
fixed
Yeah.
pretty simply,
Yeah,
I would think.
somebody
I
with just a little bit of knowledge could fix them.
I just run a Mitsubishi excavator. When anything goes down on that thing, it's like, okay. Well, are you okay with that, Roger?
Well, what are we gonna do with it after we come back to?
That's the $1,000,000 question.
Well, for now, I was saying we keep compacting it until, because they can be stored outside. You don't have to store the cardboard inside.
What are we doing with what we're compacting?
That's why I say we have to wait to figure out what we're gonna do with it, because even, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Is there any place in Denver that buys cardboard?
We're all looking for some,
Dan was looking around and he was out of town this afternoon, so he couldn't be here, but I know he's called couple different places. I know he tried Tamco and.
Because we'll
Phillipsburg.
fill up areas quick with the
Yeah.
cardboard. So I understand.
'Cause-
I would still think it would save the landfill to compact it, and if we had to take it out there, then.
Oh, I
buy this
agree.
cardboard,
I
or
agree.
this cardboard, you know, I still think it would be worthwhile,
Certainly.
even if we have to go to the landfill, but
Right.
we want to figure that out sooner than later, so
Yeah,
we're not,
Can we crush the chipboard then, if we're doing it for
Yeah.
ourselves? And that they didn't take chipboard, Sunoco didn't take chipboard?
yeah.
yes, they did.
Oh, they did, okay.
They took, they were,
They didn't take cardboard, right?
yeah, they took cardboard, chipboard, aluminum, and that was all that they were taking there at the last. And the other stuff, they probably would have taken some of it, but it was too expensive for us to deal with it, like the glass and stuff like that. It just wasn't. It was,
I understand what we're trying to do. But people like Sunoco said, we can't afford to recycle. Every company, they're saying, we can't afford it.
Right. How much room does it save at the landfill to compact it and such? Is it beneficiary enough to buy the machines if we can't sell it? I guess that's what I
We
think.
don't save any room as far as I'm concerned. We run compactors over that stuff.
Yeah, true.
If we're gonna have a recycle program, great. But if it's a partial recycle, I don't understand it. Sorry.
here's kind of the way I look at it is and I think that eventually we'll find somebody to start buying it again. I think it's just a slump, like China was one that was buying most of it from us, and then things ain't going very good with China and us right now. So if things get better
What if
and they
it
start
says
buying
signs
it
it's strictly
again,
for
or somebody
recycling?
starts buying it,
The
Or-
money
and
that's set
even, I
aside
think,
for
even if we had
recycling, is
to
it just mainly
compact it
recycled?
and give
Or
it
can be put
away.
in general?
we'd be better off than
I don't
filling
know.
up our landfill with
I
it.
mean, we just put it in an account because that's where it keeps.
That's just my view. I think we'd be better off to compact it, and if we had to give it away, give it away,
Well,
than throw it in our dump.
Yeah, if somebody would just come and get it and we gave it to them, then, you know, if somebody would come and get the cardboard and stuff.
but we'd have the city's assistance on stuff like that if we were to purchase them.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody agrees that it'd be nice to have the recycling deal going. It's just where can it go? And I agree with Willie. I think eventually, whether it takes 2 years, 5 years, it's gonna come back around and there's gonna be some things that are gonna force us to do stuff again. And that happened when the recycling started.
Yeah.
They was forcing us into recycling, which was good for how many years? And then all of a
And
sudden,
the other thing too is the cardboard, they recycle and make new cardboard out of it, and if you've noticed, Amazon, everybody's cardboard.
It's gonna be
So-
transportation at that point, it's gonna be the big varying
Yeah.
factor, but
But like I say, the main thing is I think if we buy these compactors, we'd have them in case we need them, and if not, I still don't think it's a bad investment. We could probably sell them later to somebody else for that price.
was the recycling fund strictly just for recycling?
I just
For the
asked him
county?
that.
We just set up an account, a line item to put that money into. It's just sitting there. It's not been used for anything.
Because I'm just thinking if there is money in that, it's not like
Even
it's
if
dropping
nothing
out
else, if we
of your
sold it
general
to-
fund
No,
or anywhere
no,
else.
no.
so-
Say like a Walmart or even the Dollar General out here, that, you know, if we didn't need them, we could even sell them to
I think
them.
there's a market for them, and I don't, yeah, so.
But I think Sunoco, being how they went under, they've got to get rid of them. And they don't have any way to come and get them, so I think that's dirt cheap for them.
Yeah,
And I think we do have money.
Railroad there?
yeah, I believe so.
Well, I'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we offer them $800 per unit, and if they don't take that, we'll pay them the $1,000 that they ask.
I don't want that in the motion.
No?
If
Okay.
they hear it, They're gonna
Well,
fix
it's
the
not,
valve.
They're not gonna hear it.
I think we just offer them 800, and then if we need to relook at it, we can call an emergency meeting.
Okay.
That way it's not an open-ended motion. Is that okay? They'll need a second on that.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to purchase 5 Sunoco cardboard recycler, or compactors for $800 apiece, not to exceed $4,000. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. You guys have anything else?
No?
Okay. Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah,
How we doing on
thank you. Hopefully it turns out and we start moving in the right direction again.
hopefully so. Okay, we got you in here because there's a 90-day period on the CDLs, and we have docked people's other other employees' wages when they haven't done that. So we're kind of pressured into doing that until you get your CDL completed. So I think you know that for sure, because TJ was docked. Have you told him?
Well, I don't want to relay that to others.
Okay. Well, you were hired 5/17 of 2022, and what ends up happening is, per the handbook, you have 90 days to get your CDL completed. But you've got your written done, is that correct? So you just need to do your driving.
Yeah.
So we have to do something per the handbook, legal wise. So what did we do on TJ?
I can't remember. That was whatever Steve.
I took him down to his previous grade.
I guess, can I
Yes.
say something about
Yes.
it? So I guess from my perspective, when I got hired on, it wasn't made clear at all that it would be made a requirement for me in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, it probably wasn't until probably 4 or 5 months along that it was relayed to me that it was in fact going to be a requirement. And then at that point, I studied for the written, I got my learner's permit, which I currently have, and then I've been driving since.
So
and
about
then-
in October, Wills, when you found out?
Yeah, that's a guess.
Okay.
But that's what I know. And so like I said, over the winter, given the weather and then just you can't gravel and cold, I've driven with every opportunity that I've had. And I'm honestly, next week we've got the driving instructor from McCook scheduled to come down. And so,
Sorry, Will, didn't we hire the people out of Oakley to do all this CDL stuff?
Well, he was back and forth.
Okay, back and
Chris
forth.
Shaven,
Okay.
he's out of
Sorry, Will. Continue. We have to abide by the handbook. I haven't had any communication with you on anything. Even the previous chairman hadn't, so we couldn't tell you. But that is something that should have been told to you. So
and sorry, not to interrupt, but the only other thing was that when I was hired, I was hired on at 23. I think the range was kind of set something from like 19 to 25. I was hired at 23 because I didn't have a CDL. And it was kind of my understanding that that would have been a higher pay grade if I had a CDL. And so,
okay.
So you're getting 24.15 now?
what's that?
You're getting
24.15 an hour.
24.15 now?
Yeah, yep.
What have we done in the past? Because we have to do what we've done in the past.
Dropping down a grade, but I
Dropping
mean,
down a
it's
grade.
kind of beyond what the police schedule is.
Has something like this happened in the past, if you
Yes.
don't mind me asking?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
One of the truck drivers has.
And not just in your part, in other parts, like say the treasurer's office, if somebody doesn't have their,
Feel good because we actually brought it up not Friday, but also 2 weeks before that. It should have been done back then. So if you're done in May, then or if you're done next week, that's when we go back. So where would that put it? I didn't see.
15 seconds.
Well,
It'd be 18 is what it would be too. So what you'd be looking at is $6.15 difference until you get your CDL. And we have to abide by the handbook. That is where we're at. So my suggestion is get your driving test done and then that'll change back. Okay? I do have a couple of questions though. Have you ever timed an injection pump? Have you ever put an injection pump on?
Yeah.
Okay, and injectors, correct? So it is my understanding that from the Foley bill that we had 2 days to do it, and then we decided we'd have them put the injector pump injectors on. Is that correct?
It's an electronic engine. On an electronic engine, you don't time the injection pump, but you do have to code the injectors. And so
Okay.
when that failure occurred, you have the actual failure, you've got to diagnose, and on an electronic engine, you've got to have a way to pull up the error codes. On that particular unit, which is our 406, the excavator, you have to hook up a laptop in order to get the codes to diagnose what's going on. At that point, to make the repair, like you said, you have to pull the valve cover. You have to change the injectors, like it said on there. It's a HUE pump, which basically it's a constant pressure fuel pump to a common rail, and so there
You
is.
said a HUE pump?
It's an acronym. It's an HUEI, HUE pump. It provides constant pressure to a common rail to the injectors, and so there is no actual timing on the injection pump, but that basically came
Well, that'd
apart.
make it nice.
Yeah, they're a lot easier to work on. But,
Well, here's my thing. It says, he said he would call if that did not fix it. So they thought you were going to put the injector pump on and the injectors. I'm just saying,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
There's connected to the HUE pump, there's a fuel transfer pump, lift pump.
Lift pump, of course.
That's what that one's referring to. And
Okay.
on that one, yeah, that was where we were at on that.
Okay. Well, I just would like to see a lot less stuff go to Foley's. You're very well, you've got a lot of credentialing behind you, and I think you can do more than you're thinking you can. And that's just my opinion, because, so I guess I would ask that we do more of it ourselves if we can. What year was that excavator? Wasn't it a 98?
That could be, I'd have to look at the unit.
I know we bought it when I was in here the first time, and there's not a lot of digital on that one. But like, my loader went out, and I didn't have any shifting gear, and I don't have all those tools. But I was able to go through and press a positive to the negative to the servo and figure out it was a servo. I just don't want you selling yourself short when we're paying you like we are. Okay, so that is my advice. So. And then when we hired you, we were told you had all these tools, and I've got a list of tools that goes up to like $6,300, and I just want to make sure, are we about done buying tools that we're going to need?
You're talking for the shop?
Yeah, we got a bandsaw, 4-in-1 clamp, crimp pliers, splicer, just all this stuff, scanner, and we're accountable to the taxpayers. And people are saying with a $5,800 bill to bumper last month and stuff like that, we're the ones that catch it, and then we have to, and I don't like to do that because it stresses him out, which stresses you out. So we have to have an understanding. I just need to know, tubing flare tool, I would have thought you would have had that. I would have thought you would have had the vacuum pump. A lot of these things, when I was looking over it, I was like, I'm a chiropractor, I build motors, and I'm kind of a industrial type of wannabe, we'll just say. But there's a lot of stuff that I do, and I don't want to be disappointed because we're sending something to Foley's when I know you can do it, because I've talked to Dave Yost before you were hired. So when I look at this, you're perfectly capable of doing all this stuff. I have one more question. Is it what are we getting ready to do with the oil? The chip sealer, you fixed the throwout bearing, but some of the people think it's actually the transmission. Could you check that? Because if we get oil, I don't want to have to eat a deal of oil. That's about what I had. Do you have any questions as far as the handbook goes, Will? I'm not doing this because I'm mad at you. I'm doing this because we have to do it.
Yeah, I understand.
We should have done it a long time ago. So, do you guys have anything else?
No, that just other than, I'd like to see you do more in-house work than sending out to Foley, because they're
They're nickel and
pretty
dime us.
pricey.
You know, and you've got the skills. I know that. That's a compliment. From me, that's a hell of a compliment.
And I would just say, in regard, in particular to that Foley bill, without, like on the injectors of that thing, without,
But you could have put the injectors in. You could have screwed them in. I've done
sure,
injectors.
yeah, that's fair.
And without having to
And-
time the pump.
And the problem in my opinion that we run into with this is that essentially you need the, maybe not in, with this part I'm not necessarily talking about this particular case, but you need the laptop for diagnosis. That's a fairly important part because on an electronic engine,
Steve's working on us on that.
yeah, right, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse by any means, and I also understand kind of where you guys are, I think I understand where you guys are at on that, and I'm perfectly comfortable with it, but
We're just afraid to
this-
spend any more money.
Yeah, exactly, and this is just more for context, I'm not asking for anything, I'm just trying to give you guys some context, but with this particular thing, diagnosing it's pretty important to have the laptop because you can have a sensor go bad and cause something that
Catastrophic.
acts like this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, with the injectors, you have to code the injectors, which basically what you're doing is you put the injectors in and you actually have to go in with the laptop and tell the engine controller.
The servo or whatever it is. on
Yeah,
the
it's
engine.
essentially a calibration for each injector because of the way
That's-
that they're manufactured. And so without that, you still have to call the guy at Foley and he has to come out and code the injectors. And you're not going to avoid that. But you're absolutely right that could have been something that they helped diagnose and then I did the pump and injectors and then they would have to come out again and code them. But you're still
Right.
talking about 2 trips and that
Okay.
I don't think could have been avoided.
We're kind of looking at the deal that Steve brought to us. My thing is I'm not getting on you when I'm telling you this. My thing is when something happens to me, I squeak when I walk. So I learn how to do this stuff on my own. Like a servo, you've got a negative and a positive, you know that. So if you hit it with a positive and a negative, usually you hear that servo snap. And so what I found out is I put a $300 and some servo on just to find out that my batteries were low. Yeah, kind of sucked. But anyway, you know where we're at?
The only other thing that I would question myself on the deduction and pay, I guess, as far as the pay scale is concerned, I'm not keen on how that gets updated at all, but would that not follow my current pay? And I just mean, you know, I like I said, started at 23. If I was at level 3,
Yeah.
I haven't changed levels since I've started working here. I don't know-
You're above the top tier, and that's where
Well-
that's why it's such a big hit. A $6 hit is because normal what we used to pay like Dave Fry was way down here. You're up here, and that's why I'm saying I know you're gifted at what you do, and that's why I expect more. I would just get your CDL, and you'll be fine. We are accountable to the taxpayers, so you know it is what it is. Steve, you're thinking pretty intently. What are you thinking about?
Well, I was just gonna add something at the end, but, just with respect to the system, the links, it looks like we're gonna be able to get that complimentary.
The $1,500 deal yearly we're going to be able to get for free?
Yeah.
Good talking.
Well, actually, Mark, I called him, and then before I could make that request, he offered that out.
Well, that's good. All right. So you know where we're at on this. You know what we have to do. This isn't something that we come out on a witch hunt and say we want to ruin your day for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. This is just something. It's going to look really bad if we don't when we've done it to somebody else. You know we did it to one of the employees, right?
Right, TJ.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not a total blind side. It can't be. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I guess the only thing is watch what tools you buy. Because if it is not a specialty tool, we're not gonna buy it.
Yeah, that's fair.
You need to buy it and put it in your toolbox. And that, I saw a couple of pairs of pliers for, I don't know what they were for,
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
clamp pliers that you would,
Yeah.
to put in, I don't know.
Probably
It
radio
looked to me
codes.
like it's really not a specialty tool.
Yeah, and there's nothing
You know
on
what?
that sheet that's going into my toolbox or.
Yeah, but I don't think, I think it should go in your toolbox. You should buy it.
Oh, well, right, I understand.
Okay?
Yeah, we hired you. They were supposed to have your
There-
tools. So,
I know how Yoast works and I know how John Deere works.
so,
You guys have to provide your own tools other than a specialty tool. And that even, as far as I'm concerned, if I understand, that's batteries for your impacts. We don't provide batteries.
Right, yeah, I don't,
And we bought batteries here just not too long ago.
for the county's impacts.
But,
And a grease gun, which,
yeah,
and that's nice that we have a grease gun because it's not going to be such a hindrance to you guys. I mean, it's
most of
easy
the
to grease.
operators have grease cord.
Yeah, I think that's neat. So,
Grease guns.
but then we buy a battery and it's got the listed to the machine. He's just saying that if he's going,
I guess maybe what would help too, if we could see something when it comes from Andy, who purchased it? Not just a number, but who purchased it?
I see.
Yeah, but it's not real plain to me, a lot of it.
Right.
And maybe a guy's going down there and he's buying windshield. We bought 32 pairs of windshield wipers
Yeah.
in 1 month. And I understand, because we have a lot of windshield wipers, but it's just something that.
They don't all need changed at once.
32 of them,
Yeah.
which I understand. We haven't had rain for how long? All of a sudden, all the windshield wipers are bad, but who all purchased the windshield wipers?
That's just me.
So I think we need more clarity.
That
For
is
us.
where a lot of this is from. You guys both understand that, correct?
Tracking on who bought what and for what.
And
And I'm using a different PO book altogether than everybody else.
And I guess years ago, we had a big ado up here. Every department was going to the post office every day to get their mail. Well, they were standing in window shopping or stopping in and getting coffee. This has been years ago when I was commissioner. We ended up having to have one person go get the mail because the community was, well, is there a lot of times we could say, guys, if you need something and it's not an emergency, put it on a list and send one guy once a day to get parts from Andy. Because I can see sometimes there's like 6 guys go in one day to Andy to get parts.
it makes it really hard to track.
And you look at that, I bet you it takes at least 45 minutes, because you don't walk into Andy's in the middle of the week and walk right up and get, you stand there for 3 guys in front of you.
Yeah.
And people notice it. And if you're a private individual, nobody says a word, but if it's tax dollars, they start screaming.
You know, we're the ones that hear that.
And we're the ones that catch it.
Yeah. So,
So I don't know. The guy goes down and gets a wick filter. One guy runs down and gets a pair of pliers, and one guy goes and gets a set of work boots. And one,
I mean, I'm responsible for that. If the guys need something and they come to me, I say, you know what you need, go get it.
you know, and I guess I've never said anything to you, but
But I
the
understand what you're saying.
public, they see it.
yeah, and then that's,
It's a county pickup in front of Andy's a lot. And they're getting like a $5 item. Or an $8 item. Or a pair of, towels,
Yeah.
paper towels. And then I think we need to do a better job of ordering filters once a year.
Probably, what I was gonna say about the filters is I'm really concerned that CAT's not gonna cover, because when I talked to the head guy over, and I thought it was Corey, but it's some poor, and he was like, yeah, we don't recommend the Wix filters.
I believe all our filter, our
Intakes?
graders, machines that have warranty left, they're all running cat filters.
Okay, good.
It's
So, the one that was
ones are off warranty
smoking,
that are,
Yeah.
may not, but we are gonna stick with,
good.
I'm with you on that.
Okay, I just worried
prefer
about
the
if,
cat filter.
yeah. So, other than that, Willie, did you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Any questions? Oh, that was what I was gonna say. Are you okay with what, I mean, we had to do it. You're not gonna be okay. You're gonna, but you're gonna lick,
Be okay with
you're
it.
gonna lick your wounds and you're gonna be better off because of it, okay? So, you know where we stand and I feel pretty good about that. So, you guys can go and hopefully have a good day, okay? All right. My generation shakes hands when we're done.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Have a good day. You too.
We need a motion on the cutting the pay.
I'll make a motion that we lower his pay to, what is it, a 3 grade?
$6.15, no.
$6.15 an hour.
It's been moved and seconded to lower the pay scale $6.15 until he gets a CDL. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I don't think I should want anything, but I think it's better to both do that.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.